There are many reasons why established organisations often struggle when startups enter their market. At the top of that list is a failure to understand the conflict between growth and profitability. Amazon famously lost money for its first 17 quarters of being a public company and made wafer-thin margins for many years after that. For many onlookers, this was evidence that the business model just didn't stack up. Jeff knew better. Since that time, countless startups have gone on this journey, often baffling the traditional business community with their sky-high valuations. But these businesses and the investors that believe in them understand two things: that exponential growth makes short-term profitability near impossible, and that once the company hits a point of critical mass in terms of customers or users, it's likely to become more profitable than anyone could have previously dreamed possible. It's therefore essential that before you spend a penny on marketing, you have a sense of where you want to sit along this growth versus profit spectrum. And in the middle, I typically add a third objective. That's brand. You see, whilst it's of course possible to be simultaneously profitable and develop your brand, and likewise growth and brand development can go hand in hand, there are almost always trade-offs. After all, the most profitable thing to do in any given quarter is to put everything on ice, including the development of the brand, and simply redirect the cash into your own bank account. Likewise, if you take growth to the absolute extreme, it almost always undermines the average customer experience. So, where should your business sit along this spectrum? Well, it's all a question of perspective. When I spoke with Dan Garrett, CEO of Fairwill, a few years ago, a UK startup that within just 24 months utterly turned the wills market on its head, I asked him what the incumbents, what the established organisations needed to do in order to be able to respond, in order to be able to compete. And he answered that to have any chance, they would need to begin by challenging their most deeply held organisational beliefs. And at the top of that list was the need to always be profitable. Until that time, he said he barely even classed them as competition. In fact, the competition was far more likely to come in the form of other tech startups from outside the industry. And looking back, he seems to have been right. When we spoke, they were already the biggest player with 5% of the market. That's now more than doubled. Conversely, however, when I spoke with Ram Fishkin just a few months ago, he spoke passionately about the propaganda of scale and why he longs for a return to the days where companies didn't need to be on a mission to take over the world in order to be respected. That small but profitable businesses doing extraordinary work for a modest number of customers could and should be the backbone to any healthy economy. Again, there's something really attractive about that. In truth, there is no right or wrong point along this spectrum. It's all a question of what success looks like to you. But until you've answered that question, don't even think about spending money on sales or marketing. After all, you can't optimize for what you can't see. See you next time.